Hey, what's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, our platform? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access. And today we talking about our new quarterback, future franchise quarterback, hopefully Jaxon Dart on Gruden's QB camp. And I will say I left impressed, and I'm gonna tell you why right after the intro. Let's get into it.
I'm in red form, in a red state, such a red case on a red song. In a shared space with my shareholders, cause we share a bond. Spiritual health care, that's real self-care, you won't care for.
I got my Mets hat on to the back. Y'all already know where we going with the stats.
Any artist that's talking garbage and try to curse us, y'all follow a wave and do whatever's current. I follow his ways, I know my turn is coming.
Welcome to New York Giants Full Access. Y'all follow a wave. Y'all do whatever's current. I follow his ways. I know my turn is coming. Man, love that intro. But let's get back to the business. Bigpatssportstalk right here, New York Giants Full Access. And we're talking about Jaxon Dart on Gruden's QB camp. And why I left after watching that episode impressed with Jaxon Dart. Okay, first and foremost, man, shout out to Barstool Sports with John Gruden doing a QB camp again. And this is one of the better episodes, not just because it was the New York Giants quarterback and I'm a New York Giants fan and content creator. They went through all the elements of his game, and John Gruden pointed out some things to Jaxon Dart, and Jaxon Dart handled the knowledge that Gruden was giving him with flying colors. Like Gruden was talking about him being a little bit more conscious of taking care of himself and not running into people and getting hurt, which is one of the things I said about Jaxon Dart coming out. And they talked about that, and he described why he does it. He says +2, and John Gruden was like, "What the hell is +2?" Jaxon Dart is the type of quarterback that, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to run and I'm going to push forward to get those extra 2 yards when I'm scrambling. So that's why I'm running into people to get those extra 2 yards, because those extra 2 yards might mean something. It's like a running back. But John Gruden is like, no, you got to take care of yourself, because how we're going to win when you're not on the field, which is very true. So you can't be like a Cam Scatterboo whose job is going to do that, to push forward those extra 2 yards after every run. Get out of bounds. Don't get yourself hurt. Don't get yourself destroyed out there to where our franchise quarterback is not on the field because you're hurt, because you're trying to run through Michael Parsons or somebody for extra 2 yards. No, go pick up those extra 2 yards on a dump down to the running back or something. And speaking of that, he was talking about Jaxon Dart's aggressiveness. I said that as well. Jaxon Dart is very aggressive down the field. He does do those layered throws very, very well. And they talked about the Florida game, which I talked about, but got bashed about because, oh, you're only going to bring up his bad stuff. No, I didn't just bring up his bad stuff. I just caught something when I seen. And yes, he is very aggressive. And he predetermined some throws against Florida. He wound up throwing 3 interceptions in a minute and 53 after having a very good game. And John Gruden pointed that out. He said, yes, it's great to be aggressive, but sometimes you got to know to take what the defense gives you. And that is very true. Maybe you guys are can take that from John Gruden then instead of Big Pat Sports Talk. It's okay. I know what it is, man. John Gruden's on TV. He's been a former NFL head coach and an offensive guru, a quarterback guru of sorts. And I see that. I know that you would take his word over mine, even though we're saying the same exact things. But that's okay. But I'm glad that John Gruden pointed that out to him. He pointed out Jaxon Dart's flaws, and he pointed out some of the great things that Jaxon Dart does, like those layered throws and his aggressiveness and his accuracy down the field when taking shots in the pocket. Now, he talked about Jaxon Dart sliding in the pocket. Same thing that I was talking about. He's going to have to learn how to slide in the pocket a little bit more. And he's going to have to learn how to do that quick if he's going to want to play this season for the New York Giants and be our franchise quarterback, which is true. But the things that I was most impressed about, was him and his cadence when he taught Jaxson Dart a cadence when he was at the line of scrimmage. You know, at Ole Miss, his snap count was a clap. It was a clap. And John Gruden was like, what the hell is that? You know, and he taught Jaxson Dart some snap counts, and Jaxson Dart did very well, taking the ball from under center, getting the plays in when John Gruden was doing the plays. Man, that episode was pretty doggone good, man. And Jaxson Dart showed that he's willing to learn and that he can learn a new system and that he can learn new ways of playing the quarterback position. And he took that very well. He seems like a student of the game. And, you know, I left that show pretty impressed with Jaxson Dart. Man, they was running plays and he was running hurry ups. He was learning calls. He was learning audibles, and he was knowing exactly what to do when certain coverage is on the field. It's towards the end of the show, the section when they go to the field and do some field work. Man, he was changing it to cover 2, cover 3, and Jaxson Dart knew to play the run. He learned the plays in the classroom, and he put it out there on the field. So he paid attention in the classroom, and he showed the results on the field, is which all you can ask your quarterback to do. I mean, it was a dope session. I left pretty impressed with Jaxson Dart. So now I know that he is willing to learn, and he's willing to change his ways as far as a quarterback to where he could go and do certain snap counts. Now he was out there, he was doing dummy counts, he was doing hurry ups, man. He was learning new languages and new lingos, and he was just taking it in. He was having fun, and he passed with flying colors. I'm like, okay, we might got us one, you know what I'm saying? And he got to show his personality, you know. And I'm gonna do a show on that about, are they gonna let Jaxson Dart show his personality as the New York Giants quarterback? But man, that show, you guys got to go ahead and give that show a look, man. He totally impressed me with his board work, with his film work, and with his work out there on the field. Man, John Gruden was giving him the business out there, and he had him sweating, he had him working, he was showing personality, he was pointing people where to go, he was making good, accurate passes, and he was doing what you would want at your franchise quarterback to do. Learn. And that's a pretty good show, man. I am totally impressed on what he did out there. And Jaxson Dart really showed me something on Gruden's QB camp, man. He's gonna have a lot to learn when he comes to the New York Giants, but I think he's willing and ready to do it. He will get to learn from Russell Wilson. You know, he will get some guidance from Jameis Winston on leadership, even though Jameis Winston's leadership is kind of kooky, but it's still a way of leading. Not saying he has to be Jameis Winston. And he showed his personality, man, and I think he can mesh with Malik Neighbors. That's what I left with from that show. He can mesh with some of these dogs that we have on this team, and I don't think he'll be intimidated, and I think he will be okay as long as they allow him to show his personality on the field, because his personality on the field is what's going to mesh with the personalities of Malik Neighbors, a Tyrone Tracy, a Cam Scatterbo, you know, guys like that, a Darius Slayton, a Wan'Dale Robinson. You know, he might even mesh very well with Brian Daboll, you know, because Brian Daboll has a similar style to John Gruden when he's working with his quarterbacks. I see that. I see similarities between those two. They like to test their quarterback. They like to put them through the ringer and then put them out there on the field and see what they can do. Don't overcomplicate things with this kid, though, Mr. Brian Daboll. Allow this kid to develop and allow this kid to make mistakes and go out there and learn from those mistakes. But overall, that was a hell of a show and a hell of a performance by Jaxson Dart. I left pretty impressed. Yes, Big Pat Sports Talk was impressed with Jaxson Dart's performance on the QB camp, and it was pretty dope, man. So thank you guys for watching. Hey, go check us out on the Aboriginal Sports Network with me, NYG, and the whole Aboriginal crew, Man Cave, Ghost Dog, Deception, Delay a Game, TP, man, Snarf, man. We got so many people on the network. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. And until the next episode, you know what it is, man. Right here, exclusively on my personal page, Big Pat Sports Talk, New York Giants Full Access. And we out until the next episode. Peace.
I'm in red form, in a red state, such a red case on a red song. In a shared space with my shareholders, cause we share a bond. Spiritual healthcare, that's real self-care, you won't care for.
I got my Mets hat on to the back. Y'all already know where we going with the stats.
Any artist that's talking garbage and try to curse us, y'all follow a wave and do whatever's current. I follow his ways, I know my turn is coming.
Welcome to New York Giants Full Access.